Is it too late to start over at 29? Well, I'm just gonna straight up say that it's never too late to start over, guys. Come on. We've seen many people starting over at different ages in life. But I think that the problem is not actually starting over. The problem is, are you willing to pay the price for the things you want? That's the real question. Because changing your life is possible at any given time. As long as you're alive and breathing, you can change whatever you want. I know it's not easy, and that's the thing, it's not easy. Some people would like to think that it's easy for others, but it's not easy for anyone. No matter how much privilege you have, you still have to deal with the emotional, social consequences of your decisions. So it's never easy, okay? What I think though is that it takes time for things to actually change, and it takes making a decision. And this whole process can be overwhelming. From the moment you realize that there's something wrong, there's something missing, that something has to change, till the moment you actually make a decision, and then you start working on the things that you really want to change in your life. All these things happen in different time periods, but they happen and it's a process that you go through, right? And the first time it happened to me, I wasn't really aware. The first few times I changed my life in ways I wasn't really aware. But now I can really sense it when it's coming my way. A change, metamorphosis, I would say. And sometimes it's difficult. I remember the last time I realized that I was about to embark in a different phase of my life. I was like, oh my God, I'm changing again. And having that realization was so weird because I felt good. I like change. I like to know that I'm moving and evolving. I'm a human being, right? In the concept that it's something that it's happening over time. I'm being different things over time. But at the same time, I feel torn because every time you have to shift into a new version of you, that means that the old version of you has to die. And that's painful. That really is painful because you need to mourn sometimes a whole life that you've built for yourself. I had recently built a life for myself in Sao Paulo where I had a job, where I was respected, where I had friends, where I had potential for my career in many different fields, where I had an apartment and I had a place to live. And when I decided to go to England this year, I was like, oh my God, this version of me is going to die. She's going to cease to exist, and a new version of me is going to take over. And it did. It's inevitable, guys. I at least perceive myself this way. That change in my life, it's inevitable. It's not really something I can help. And I can't quite understand how some people manage to live the same lives for years in the same place, doing the same thing. I can't do that. This is not something that serves me because it is in my nature to keep changing and growing and moving and and learning new things in different places with different people. And it just happens to me. I wish I were a bit more stable, but stable is for horses, right? So you know what I mean. And now I'm not even teaching anymore. I taught for 7 years. And now I'm building a website, honestly, and doing YouTube videos and painting. So I completely shifted my life. And I just turned 29. Am I scared? I'm terribly scared. I'm terrified, but at the same time, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because every time I made a shift in my life, I was graced with such great things and great opportunities that I'm like, okay, I know that life is going to bring good stuff my way. Because every time I trusted life, it rewarded me. Not only with good things, but also with lessons that made me grow, that made me change as a person, and that prepared me for the next step. So I feel that life is like a game in a way where I just keep leveling up. Mm. It sounds great, okay? But the process is actually painful. The process of changing your life at any given point is difficult. It's not beautiful, okay? This is just a take on it. But you don't get to see me cry. You don't get to see me overthink and be anxious about stuff and be scared. But I'm here to tell you that there is life after change. There's life after life actually keeps going, guys. Honestly, sometimes I have this feeling that I was in like a finite situation. Like if I don't succeed in this, I'm gonna die. Like literally, this is the end for me. But I woke up the next day and I had a new chance and I had a new opportunity, and then something new came towards me, and then I went to another country, and even there I had moments where I thought, oh my God, like what am I doing here? Why am I here? What am I gonna do next? And life unfolds on its own. Okay, I think I said this before in another video, but I've always seen my path in life as something, as if I'm walking in the dark. And I really don't know where I'm going sometimes. I do have an image in my head of, I know the things I want, okay? But the path, it's not really clear. And that's when you know where you are on your own path, because you need to trust that you're going to get where you want to get. But your path, how you're going to get there, it's not necessarily how you imagine you're going to get there, you know? There will be shifts, there will be surprises. Imagine, and I think, like, imagine if life was just so predictable that you knew exactly what you're going to have to do every day to get where you want to be. Like, really, come on. That's boring. I don't want to have a boring life. I know where I want to get to, but then I'll just let the universe surprise me. Like, lead the way, lead the way. The universe, if you really think the universe is guiding you, you need to allow it to take you where you want to be. Don't try to control life or hold it like a, by the hand, or like I'm leading this boat. No, lead the way. Life leads the way. You just follow, because life knows what you need, and the universe knows what you want. And those things they're always together. Okay, you get what you want, but you also get what you need. And sometimes what you need, you may not like it, but it is what you need. I went through painful situations even when I was living what I wanted, because the universe knew what I needed. I remember that when I was in England, I was I was faced with my realization that I wanted to be loved, and I've always wanted to be loved. And I had recently found out that specific thing about me. And when I was in London, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people and to go on dates and, actually explore that feeling more, like those romantic connections, right? But I didn't get what I wanted the way I wanted. I got what I needed. And that's when the universe comes in, because I was able to see love all around me from people in different ways, not necessarily from a partner, not necessarily from a man, but from friends and people who actually loved me in a way that I didn't pay attention to. And I felt so loved, and I realized I have love. Why am I looking for it? Right? So life gave me what I wanted, but it also taught me a lesson, because I was looking for love in the wrong place. Basically, that was it. I was looking for love in the wrong place, and I had it all along. Love from my family, love from my friends, right? I know everybody wants to be in relationships, but the moment I didn't have to worry about that anymore, that's when I realized, oh my God, everyone around me. I was about to say that everyone around me loves me. That is true. But it's I mean, most people love me, okay? I'm very lovable. I'm very lovable. What can I do? Okay, and it took me a long time to accept that. And during the time I was in London, I experienced love in many different ways. And that made me heal this part of myself that used to think that I wasn't lovable. I remember having a little mental breakdown while I was there because I thought, well, why can't anyone love me as I am right now? And that's when it all began for me, the path of understanding, because from that point on, life began to bring people into my life. I went on lots of dates, but I also went out on my own. I went to London a lot, so I met people in London. And I was surrounded by these people that I had just recently met, but that were so giving and so special, in many different ways, and that were so attentive to me and caring and loving. And I realized I already am loved. Why am I looking for it outside when the love I have is the love I give? And when I give it, it comes back to me. It was a beautiful lesson from the universe, honestly. And it was extremely necessary because I used to think that love was the only thing I was never going to get in my life. Because I know I can get all the other stuff, trust me. I have the willpower, I have the strength. I've sacrificed many times, many things in my life. I can do it all over again if I need to, until I get what I want. But I always thought that love was the only thing that was out of my grasp, because it would depend on someone else to love me, right? But that's not true. The love I have inside myself, it's the love I get. And I need first to be willing to give it to get it back. Okay? So thanks for the lesson. I get it. And well, what I was talking about, starting over at 29. And you see, that was the consequence of starting over. Okay? When you trust life, when you trust that it's leading you down the right path, it really does. It really guides you towards what you want and what you need. Okay? And just, just be able to handle the consequences of your own decisions. That's a huge part of changing your life at any point. Okay? And just think like, why not me? Why can't I do this? There are many reasons why people can change their lives, and I understand that. It might have to do with money. It might have to do with social status. It might have to do with children, right? Why can I do this? Because I have no kids, okay? I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. I just I have a lot of freedom in terms of where I want to go, who I want to be with, where I want to be. I am very much, in the scope of freedom, okay? If you don't have that, it's really harder. It's much harder to change your life. But if you do, take advantage of it, okay? Don't be standing on the sidelines. Don't be hidden behind the wings. Go for it. This is your only chance. Why I do this? Why do I take chances? Because I'm only going to live this life. And you too. Just a reminder, okay? This is the only one we have. This is the only opportunity we have to build our own reality, to really weave the fabric of existence into something that, translates who we are, what we want. So what's the point of trying to weave a fabric that already exists when you can create your own? That's something for you to think about, okay? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.